Let's Drone Out. And quickly, I'm speaking. I am Bright Till I Fly. You're also talking to Adam, Juniper,
Hello.
Frank,
Hello.
and Jay.
Yeah, g'day, mate. Back for another
And
one.
no Trappy.
No Trappy, no.
If you're listening to this, Trappy, you've broke my heart. You broke my little FPV heart.
I think it's because you said to him, "Oh, he's sexy." You said, "Oh, he's sexy."
That.
Trappy likes that.
Okay.
Is there a significant other in his life that might have read the message? Might he be having a fight right now?
No, I reckon he's just gone to sleep because it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
And
well,
like-
if he's tuned in,
Reason.
we've
He's
still
got
got a whole
like-
hour he could join.
better things to do than listen to fucking Let's Drone Out.
But when did
know,
you send
like-
the message, Jack? What I'm saying
Fri-
is, was he in bed around about 11 and his phone went, she picked it up and went, hang on, why are you getting a message from someone called Jack saying, are you always sexy?
But it's not like my name's Jackie.
No, but Brighton Till I
Jackie,
Fly. Maybe Brighton Till I Fly. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Who's this
I mean,
hussy
that's-
called
A
Brighton?
name like that, to me, sounds like a dealer.
Trappy's allowed to do drugs if he wants.
Frank, talk him out of it.
Anyway,
Yeah,
moving
let's
swiftly on.
Drone out and let's drone out. Let's drone out. Let's drone out.
Few of us, well, 3 of us at British Championships this weekend. See, BF, PBRA.
Oh, yeah. Tell us all
Big
about it.
It
Some
was,
of us weren't there.
yeah. Well, Saturday was very, very, very wet. Rain, much rain, to the point where Jack was trying his best to leave and swamped in and not allowed to leave. But yeah, then managed to at least get some practicing in on Saturday. So Sunday was straight in. Even done a round of qualifying on Saturday, and so it's the other rounds of qualifying on Sunday of all the racing. And yeah, it all turned out pretty nicely on Sunday. It was lovely weather. But yeah,
Paint the picture
Saturday
for
night.
me. Where were you? What field?
We were at Ragley Hall, which is a big stately home near Alcester, Ulster, even though Leicester and places like that would beg otherwise. But yes, Alcester. And a big stately house with big grounds, and there's a big flight line of large model aircraft in terms of big fixed wings, and there are even manned motor gliders, and there was a pit special or something similar flying around, like actual full-size manned thing flying around. Went through all the catering bits, and then went through some of the camping, and then the PVRA British Championship netted area where all the racing was going on. And then if you carried on through us and through our camping and up through and eventually you get to the 3D helis. So they were there as well, but well out the way. I don't know.
Far enough
Jack
away
wants to
that
comment on
Jack
that.
couldn't say anything about them.
Yeah, probably.
They weren't there. In fairness, like I just like to let in what they called. What is their name?
The line checks.
Yeah, line tracks, that you have inadvertently got your revenge, because Saturday was the worst day of my life. I have never been wetter.
Colder,
I might
more
as well,
miserable.
yeah, more miserable. I was begging people, like, oh, I'm going now, and I was like, please take me with you, and they were like, and then driving off. Minus the comedy, like mud flicking from the tires in my face as they pull away. That's pretty much how I felt. I just wanted. Hey, Dom's here. Hello, Dom.
Hello, chaps. How are you?
Yeah,
Welcome.
I was literally praying for death. I honestly, you couldn't make it any worse unless you sellotaped me to Thomas Greer himself.
Now, I'm sure some people would pay for that sort of thing.
And
Weren't you
I
competing?
contracted whatever illness that man had. Because, like,
You've
with
got a
Scotsmen,
beard. You've got a beard coming. I know.
yeah, with Scotsmen, they're pretty much immune to everything. You know, they're the sort of people
I really
that
have to be up there.
have the ability to like headbutt AIDS, so they don't get it.
I think
Like,
there's plenty of statistical evidence that would suggest otherwise. But carry on.
but he, like, I mean, they wander around in t-shirts. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, I don't understand why his, fleece even has a zip, because he never does it up. And you know, he's wandering around. They had a gazebo. They didn't want to get wet, so they didn't put it up. So we're just there getting wet. People's quads are like burning out, freaking out, setting on fire. Oh, it was
so they
awful.
were more worried about getting the gazebo wet than using the gazebo to stop
Yeah.
themselves getting wet. Or the
Well, there
And
was a giant marquee that you could go in instead.
Yeah,
not for Jack, clearly.
yeah.
No.
But unfortunately,
But
the
there were
ground
people in
stations,
there.
the ground,
No jacks. That's what he's saying.
the
Was there a
ground
sign?
station didn't reach that far. You know, you try and hide in race control, and they would like scoot you
Well,
out.
that's why because there was a lot of rain, and it was a case of either we do the practicing in the more drizzly bits of in between the stormy bits, or there's not going to be any time for practicing and getting everything else done. So the option was given: you can take advantage of your practice now, or keep your quads dry. It's up to you. So,
Yeah.
but everyone pretty much decided actually I would rather get my quads a little bit wet and fly. And I think only one or two out of the 58 quads had some twitchy things going on. And even then, I'm not entirely sure you could say that was down to the rain and not just because they're a bit twitchy.
So take me through the format of the competition. Who was, 58 people flying?
So yeah, so it was the top
I was number
60.
50.
Oh,
All right,
No.
Jack.
So it was an invitational event. So from the various qualifying events that have happened throughout the year, all the placings from all those qualifying events were added all together. So there was a big league table of everyone, and so it was a case of going down the list and inviting people in turn to find the top 60 pilots who were available that weekend. And so 60 pilots and 58 pilots turned up and got their deposit back for turning up, because apparently that's how professional events work. That's how the 3D helis and how the large scale model fixed wings all works. So that was how we
Essentially,
did it. Ooh,
and you get some of it back when you get there.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
how a deposit works.
Yeah. That's no, but it's a clever way of making sure people show up, isn't it? Because,
Exactly.
yeah, especially if it's raining.
Or just give Greer a gun and your address. That is also very
He'll
effective.
track you down eventually. Has Thomas done anything to upset you, Jack?
No, I'm just being a cock.
Okay, fair enough.
I wish you'd come on the show more, just so I could just do his head in. It's one of my favourite pastimes. You know, like just
You did
annoying
do it a lot
Greer.
on the weekends. Annoying
Oh
Greer, yeah.
man, I'm surprised I'm still alive. Like I'm pretty suicidal. So
Well, I'm
like,
surprised that you didn't get disqualified, to be honest.
yeah,
Jack was absolutely, for me at least, the entertainment value of the weekend.
I was a gobshite, absolute gobshite the whole weekend.
Well,
that
not
was
that.
my aim.
Which took
Huh?
away from it a bit. I was thinking more your actual racing, where you did your James May impression, and
Slow.
no, he got lost.
Unmutes himself to laugh at me. Jay, you're a dead man.
sorry.
We
He
can't
managed
all
to get
hang.
lost going around the course.
We can't all hang around with NJ Tech and get good. You asshole.
Come on,
Sorry.
you should visit more, Jack. You should visit more.
Visit more.
You haven't visited once.
I don't want to. Your little friends up there, I'm not cool enough.
It's a bit more
No,
broad.
you're more than welcome to come
With
up.
your
and
little
try it.
mini, I haven't got a mini quad. Well, I have, but it's only got an F1 processor. Unlike you
I can't-
kilohertz freaks.
I can't believe the voice of doom got so close yet so far. Mind you, you're on the south coast. Why would you want to move up to come up this way to visit? That's why I'm down again this weekend.
Yeah, I've got no desire to date my cousin.
But anyway,
Wow,
that
so-
killed
yeah,
it.
Jack got lost.
Yeah, Jack.
He was racing rounds.
But was the course
keeping it
quite
together.
technical? Was it quite technical?
Along the same lines as the qualifying events that there have been. So yeah, it was reasonably technical, but it's the same thing at every event. Is like everyone starts off with loads of people complaining that it's too technical, I can't get around it, and then by the end everyone's putting in 20-second times. So
Or Jack gets lost.
or Jack gets lost.
Uh,
Jack managed to have a habit of going into this chicane and then slightly taking a bit of a detour and confusing one of the gates on the other side of the course for the next gate in the chicane. So once or twice he ended up going against the flow of traffic, which is not a good idea.
However, let's not. At least he made it to the championships. Well done, Jack.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then we just had to keep him focused on what he was doing and kind of remind him.
No, less of that actually. Hang on. He made me turn around. I wasn't allowed to look at the course, and he made me name you go through the start gate, and then you go round the flag, and he's like, "What direction around the flag?" I was like, "Well, you go right a bit, and then round to the left." And he's like, "Good." Like really steely-eyed, looking at me. Like honestly, if he had a ruler or some sort of teaching stick, if I got it wrong, I'm sure he would have hit me with it.
No,
He was
sorry,
like,
we've got to go back a second.
I'm sure.
What's a teaching
This is Frank.
What is a teaching stick?
This is Frank. I'm sure he was. At one point, I caught him eyeing up the plug lead from the ground station to go in your goggles. I'm sure he was going to grot me with it. He was like, like he had the Rocky music playing in his head. He was like, "You're an embarrassment to this hobby." Like, he was outraged. Like at one point, I got so bored. I was like, "I'm really shit at this." Carlos, if you're listening to this, right, Mr. 47th place, right, you made it out of the 50s, and he's like,
Hello.
Silence of the Jack.
Oh yes.
I
Thomas
got
is shutting down.
I got negative points because at one point I got bored and started flying freestyle. At which point Andrew wanted to kill me.
Well, it wasn't the freestyle itself. I just would have preferred if you did the freestyle not where other people were racing. That was all. If you'd done it over the part of the course
a bit
that people had already
hard
finished.
when you're trapped in a net.
No, but like everyone was coming along the fast straight, and then you were doing freestyle above the fast straight. And if you'd been doing it over the chicane, it would have been fine, I think. But anyway, you did your freestyle because you'd done your lap, so you did your freestyle. You for the other qualifying, the other heats, you did a bit more freestyle, like in between the gates and the hoops and things, and a few people noticed. And so when it came to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, all the qualifying rounds, they're all preset. Everyone knows what heat they're in. They're all put together before the event, and it's just bam, 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 keeps going through. But when it gets to the quarterfinals, the racing has to take all the data from the iLap timing system and go chunk, 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 work out who's in which one and which channels work with who and all of that kind of stuff. So he needs about 10, 15 minutes between the last qualifying round and the first quarterfinal. He set up who's racing in which race. And so for that 10 or 15 minutes, that then became a freestyle slot because everyone had noticed freestyling. So Jack was the first out to do the freestyle. You did all right. We had music playing through via
I couldn't
phone,
see what.
via radio mic.
Yeah, I couldn't see what I was doing because I forgot to adjust my camera for like actual sunlight. I kind of forgotten that existed. But you know, as I got through the whole weekend, I can upload my DVR footage just to prove that I'm not lying. Also, I am a bit shit, hence that I swore again. I'm so sorry for cussing, but I am very passionate. Yeah. Also, like the 58th place kind of backs that up. So you know, maybe me and Carlos can go into some sort of mutual suicide. But I'm worried about the other people from like 48th to 57th. You know, also some sort of cult like. Where we have to wear the same trainers and drink Kool-Aid. Shouldn't Andrew ban me forever. Surely that's something Adam should say out loud. Anyway, have we covered the nationals yet?
I was just going to say that then other people started joining in the freestyle as well because there was more time in between the semis and the grand final and things. And so yeah, then there was other people taking advantage of the freestyle as well. So you're a trendsetter.
Were there many spectators there?
Yeah, some of them went into comas.
Oh, really?
What?
I think Jack just didn't enjoy himself, and so he's remembering everything through a grey haze of depression. To be honest,
diazepam.
I should don't encourage me. I'd be a lot better if I could.
Was it entertaining to be there as much as it was to take part?
Yeah, I mean, there was a good group of people sitting behind the rope and watching along.
Cool.
People were handing around goggles and things occasionally. So yeah,
Carlos was eyeing up the rope, I think, to hang himself.
I was trying to keep my eyes out for blogging and stuff, but it felt like everyone was really busy trying to get out of the rain or race.
The rain did make it pretty tight that we were going to actually manage to get all the racing in, but we rated racing and of doing everything, it did work out in the end.
Being the optimum word. Sorry.
Unfortunately, there was an issue with internet connectivity, so there wasn't any at the actual event.
No,
it didn't work
we
out
were
in the end.
middle of
so
nowhere.
Streaming, unfortunately, but yeah, hopefully future events.
Rumor has it that Adam's joining the race circuit next year.
Yeah,
it's going to be competing. Yeah.
What are you going to be racing in?
Inspire, yeah. I reckon I could get it through some of those little holes.
You know when they say go through the gates, they don't mean obliterate the gate as you go physically through it.
I was gonna sharpen the prop. And then Bob
it works fine until you go to Formula and have a go with the scaffolding.
You know what? We're all laughing, right? But he will be flying not a prototype. He will be the only one legal.
Yeah.
So I just like to. We're all like, ha 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 ha. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I'll be there going like, yeah. Here you are. I'm legal. I win, right?
Yeah. I've spent my money on a BNUC. How do you?
It's going to be a really nice segue into the DJI Mavic and the Snail Racing drone propulsion system.
Oh, I can't wait. Actually, I think I might marry Thomas Greer. I might.
This is becoming a real Thomas issue.
The babies will be weird.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that Thomas secretly worked for DJI or any of those people.
No, he's the only one who can save me from this. He's the only one who doesn't seem worried by it.
I think.
Yeah, carry on.
I mean,
By the Mavic.
What's wrong about the Mavic? That's an obvious problem. I mean, if DJI didn't do it, Zero have already done something like that. In fact, have you seen the Zero one with the fold-out arms? It's also got changeable backs, so you can put a different cover on it, like a late 90s mobile phone.
Oh, what, the Nokia 7280 or whatnot? Oh, fantastic. I hope it comes with polyphonic ringtones when you start it up. Fucking
Not on your Christmas.
You know, when you're on GPS hold, you've got an option where it uploads Snake. Yeah, you can play Snake whilst flying.
And the other one is unique. We've got one they've called the Breeze fold-out thing. Of course, Breeze is enough to stop that being a good idea because it's super lightweight, but still. I definitely think the old trying to take technologies from the old Nokias is the way to go.
It really does look like it's an old Nokia with some props attached. The
Doesn't
unique Breeze.
No, not the new. Look up Zero. I'm trying to remember its name now, but yeah, if you go to the Zero website, there are lots of things that look like copies of DJI, and then this one thing which they got out first, and then DJI come and bring the Mavic out, which looks like a copy of theirs.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know whether to text Thomas and see whether he wants to defend himself.
I'm sure he's got plans.
Yeah, I can't find him on my thing. I think he's blocked me.
Wouldn't you if you were him?
Yeah, I know. I love him, really.
I think the Mavic's quite an interesting product. I think it is an inevitability that each brand will try to make a play in each of the sort of different form factors of the drones, and some of them will survive, some of them won't. But I think for me it was interesting because I bought a P4 like 3 weeks before the Mavic came out, and I sat there for a few days going, should I have actually got them? I'm quite glad I didn't though, because on inspection it's got a much smaller CCD. It's not a P4. They haven't cannibalized the P4 market completely. I justified buying mine because I needed a 4K video source, and it was the one that could fly.
It's occasionally useful, isn't it? Like, my phone does 4K.
I'll tell you, having spent now 6-7 packs on the Phantom, it's a thoroughly fucking boring thing to fly. It's the most uninteresting thing to fly you could possibly imagine. But that's because it's not a flying toy. It's not a racer. It's not an aircraft in the same way. It's a tripod. It's a tripod.
Canon 350D. It's a low end
or a dolly.
Entry point for the people who like their photography and their video, which is lots of people, me included.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do get that it's not exciting to fly.
The weird thing is, like an hour into flying an hour into flying the P4, it was like, well, this is like moving a vector dot around a 3D sort of game space or something. It's kind of, that's not interesting. But then a week later, I've started to scratch the surface of all the different sort of controlled shots you can do, and started to think this is a totally different ballgame. Yeah.
When I started out, and you wanted to buy, you could buy controllers if you weren't going to go down the 3D robotics route. And if you wanted to buy stuff from DJI, you'd have to go to really expensive, the Wukong controllers, like £500 or something, to be able to do circle around an object and keep pointing at it. And now that's just built in.
It's a little quiet.
Who?
Adam.
Oh, you can blame Apple for that. I've got the new phone, and so my headphones with the microphone on the lead.
And you've dropped them in
which I use for the live. I threw a shitty adapter.
What? Okay. Oh, fantastic.
Hopefully the recording.
What I was going to say.
So, quick question for you, probably Jay and Adam, because you both DJI flyers. I'm curious that there's various different ground systems that you can plug in beyond DJI Go.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, I haven't had time to go and look yet, but is there an SDK and an API into the DJI environment? Which those guys are building.
When they launched the Inspire, they launched the SDK. But it's a bit, you just get in touch, I think, and they'll give you it, basically.
Right, that gives me something to go and have a play with. That's cool.
I mean, there
I
are
will
many
say-
options out there, and to be honest, they all serve different needs, better or worse than each other. Like for the waypoint stuff, the Litchi is quite good to get banked curves and things for and different points of interest with the camera.
So what's the score? What's the score under current CAA at least law with waypointing?
Keep watching it. As long as you're, as long as you're watching it and have the sticks and ready to take over, it's under your control. So you're fine.
Okay.
In one respect, at least the law's on your side.
Any of you remember Logo? Do you ever remember that? Like the Rumbot where? Yes.
Yeah, with a pencil.
Yes. Essentially,
how
much
like,
did you pay? How much did you pay for it?
It's a big track.
Had it.
Yeah. It's essentially a floating one of those, isn't it, really? Like, we haven't really come for... Like, we should... Is there any way to change this so that the chat is, like, in green text and everything's black?
Oh, that
Terminals.
Like the BBC... Yeah. And we'll just run execute files so that the rest of the show...
We'll work that out for you, Jack. We'll get it so it comes up.
Christmas tree viruses.
A scrolling teleprompter from
Jay got that. Yeah.
Oh, word of warning for you, Dom. Though, when you start using the non-DJI apps, sometimes when you want to then take back control and quit out and get back, they're not. It's not 100% reliable. So if you're in the air and you're trying to make a connection back to the DJI app, you will sometimes find it won't. And you're going to have to fly back, the good old-fashioned way.
Yeah. No. I'm sort of in my experiments so far. I've just been using the autonomous stuff to augment manual flight, just so I can get a feel for the bird at the moment, because it's a different thing to fly. It's really off-putting. It's the left hand doesn't do what it's supposed to do.
That's sort of how I think what the left hand should do. But now I'm finished with it, because I've had 6 flights and you've had 6 flights. So basically, it's time for eBay now, surely.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, sell it on.
If you're down at Hidden Valley this weekend, Doom, then we can check out the other app, and I'll show you some of the actual quite good features for doing cinematography-based stuff.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the point of interest thing, but I must be using it wrong. I didn't like having to line myself up looking vertically down above my points before I could start my point of interest.
No, that's not doing it wrong. That's how it makes you do it.
Yeah, I don't like that, because one of the things that had gone through my mind is if you say you're 200-300 meters back from a crowd gathered round something, I want to be able to mark the point of interest somehow, GPS position myself directly over it, because I can't fly over the crowd.
It's not
first world problems, man. You DJI people.
Listen
what do you mean I've got a flight myself? I paid all...
And building a hobby drone is not a first world problem.
To be honest, they are very capable machines.
Adam, it's a survival skill, mate. It's a survival skill.
That's right. If you find yourself on a desert island with some ESCs.
Yeah, a couple of ESCs and a copy of Clean Flight.
The excitement's only going to come from trying to program it if you're that way inclined.
Yeah.
But to be honest, to get a good shot just from line of sight, that's what I use mine for.
Yeah, it's a bit jumpy. I find it a bit jumpy. It's going to take some practice on some aspects, but more as a camera than as a thing to fly. I don't think I even.
Have you tried sport mode yet?
Anyway, no. I'm going to have to cut it short. Maybe we should. You're going to be seeing a lot, probably even the Mavic, next week, 2 weeks, aren't you, Doom? As in commercial UAV show? Is he coming up for that?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be somebody sporting them there.
Well, to be honest, otherwise this is going to turn into Dom's P4 help desk on
No, it's fine. Hidden Valley this weekend. I don't know about that. Isn't it supposed to be raining Saturday?
Never rains in Hidden Valley.
It doesn't actually. You get a spit. That's all.
How else would Tupper Quad exist? Did anyone?
That's just that we have a little bit of a mist laid on every now and then just to justify Tupperware quads.
Did anyone hear my insult on the Phantom?
No.
Or did it just cut out?
Don't think we heard anything but
was
insults.
Oh no! I was like, oh, what do you mean I got to fly over the top of people? And I was just like, first world problems, DJI. What do you mean I paid all this money? What do you mean I got to fly it myself? So yeah.
Oh, that's it. I didn't realise waypointing was how things should be, and flying yourself was like the irritating.
Yeah, the poor person's way of doing stuff.
I see.
Bloody peasants having to use their thumbs.
Yeah, I find it very
And
annoying. My car still has a steering wheel.
Well, has anyone seen the other
seatbelts really
that DJI has been making? They're trying to start selling the racing stuff as well.
Yeah, the ESCs, isn't there? There's DJI race
ESCs, motors, and props.
Killed them with fire.
No,
they have traited us.
You have to make Jack fly one.
DJI Snail is what it's
Jack
called.
Fly a DJI race thing.
DJI. No.
Tachyon, isn't
No.
it? And the ESC is called Tachyon or something?
I don't know. It just says snail for everything here, so I'm missing.
I think that might be the internet's idea of a joke.
No, it's on the DJI website. It is actually on the DJI website. You can buy the propulsion system of DJI.
It's DJI.com/snail.
Come on, Adam. I thought you were like bad down to your DJI gods. Knew everything.
Stuff, though.
Oh my god! Okay, no. Well, I've been busy preparing for a book fair. Book fairs are historic. Everything seems like it comes from the past.
Book fair. Sounds like everything's going to have 20p written on the inside cover in pencil.
Oh no, it's all about selling licenses.
I know, yeah. Cream tea and Buxter cake.
I'm afraid not. It's brutally efficient. It's in Germany.
Gucci FPV says, "Why snail though?" Like,
it must be a joke.
Are you mocking us? How dare you take away our AV out?
There they are in Shenzhen, and they're like, "Well, tell us a word for something really fast" to their English friend or their Hong Kong friend, and it's like, "Oh yeah, snail, definitely snail. We should go with snail." And they looked it up, and they're like, "Nobody has copyrighted the word snail for something really fast. We should get onto this really quickly."
Excellent.
Oh my word!
I actually genuinely think that DJI have done all their market research on the racing scene, because with the Mavic and with the Snail, I think they realise what their reputation is with the racing scene, and this is the best way of trying to overcome that. That by doing it tongue in cheek, they give themselves the best chance. If they took themselves seriously, they'd just be laughed at. Whereas at least this way,
no, we are still laughing.
Yeah, it still doesn't seem right. It still doesn't seem right.
When you get half an hour on Let's Drone Out, you're screwed. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If I find any of you right among us secretly working for them, Adam, I'm looking at you, feeding them inside knowledge, I will personally crucify you.
We'll have to get you a sponsorship deal from them, just to wind you up.
Maybe they're behind the recent regulatory.
Yeah, that was going through my mind.
All right, yeah, all right.
Let's create a regulation where we can stamp them out and have a set.
It'll be CE.
Only we can afford to comply with. Yeah. Oh, how handy! Yeah, £1 million certificate to comply.
Fly your DJI race things here.
Oh my word!
Jack, I think that I want this now. You're gonna have to build me it.
No, I kill it with fire. Right.
Is that real? Is that real? Is that picture real?
It's
real. So that is from the DJI website. That is a picture of the DJI Snail ESC 4S 30 amp BLDC from the DJI Propulsion Lab.
Did they just look at the little bees and they were just like, we need to find things that live out in the garden? Snail, that'll do. You know what I mean? Like wasp flights taken because of Boris B. They seem to like things that are outside in the garden. Wasp.
I
You
met
know.
the CEO.
Snort and fail.
I don't
What?
think that the signal wires have been sold very
What's
well.
next? The DJI Badger.
Couldn't fly them in the countryside. That'd give the cows tuberculosis.
No, I know. Yeah, that's it.
I've met the CEO there and the top marketing guy, and especially the second. He's really smart. You know, they know what they're doing. So
they're
that's
not a higher power.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that they've definitely really thought about this. Whereas, you know, at first you might think, what the fuck?
I wonder what it stands
Sorry,
for.
Jack.
Right.
I think it is snail, as in just snail.
Sat nav.
Right. Who wants to
Sat-nav
talk?
assisted, integrated.
Suggestions in the
Logic.
chat room, people. Suggestions in the chat room. Come on, best suggestion.
Oh, don't
Wins a
listen to him.
self-expense trip to the place of their dreams.
Just because the man whose fault it is, let's drone out, started in the first place, do not listen to him. Fucking Thursday night show. He kicked us off. He left us out in the cold. Don't play enough music.
Best place for you.
Oh.
It's
EASA.
trendy here.
For the
Don't
love
swear. That's a 4-letter word.
of. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry earlier, by the way. I caught myself
Yeah, I
doing this
know.
swear.
Maybe we need a swear jar.
It would make
Yeah.
sense if the
Yes.
swears are what cost us.
And I think EASA is probably right at the top of that list.
The thing is, if we do beep that as a laugh, no one will have any idea what we're on about.
Do you know, the one question I've asked the ESA 3 times and they've just sidestepped each time is why they essentially who's commissioned it and why they've commissioned it.
I can't think if it's not the explanatory note, but there's some other document that's gone with it. With what we're talking about here is the European Aviation Safety Authority's prototype rules for unmanned aircraft, which are pretty horrifying for anyone who does anything like what we do.
Or breathe in and out. Or you know, might enjoy having friends.
Prototype law is just that it's like, let's have an argument for the sake of having an argument, even though you're all happy with the situation. Seems to be the current trend in politics at the moment.
Well,
I'm happy with is what the threat is that they've actually been looking at is the issue of low flying commercial helicopter operations, because particularly in mainland Europe they have a lot of helicopters doing all sorts of things, pulling cables across large expanses of forest and things like that, and then having either commercial or recreational drones flying about, and even if they're barely above tree level, the helicopter's not going to see the drone until it's too late, and the drone operator isn't going to see the helicopter until it's too late.
So someone's watched Casualty. Someone's watched Casualty over and over again. And
one of the recommendations that doesn't appear anywhere is pilots of helicopters should look out of the window, at stuff in front of them.
Well, I suppose what I'm not getting right is that's what regulation of the airspace is about, and that's what the CAA have successfully been doing in the UK for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Killing it dead and pulling the last remaining teeth out the dead horse's head.
Trying to harmonise that with a wider framework across Europe.
No, fairness, Dom, all the CAA do,
because we haven't had many crashes in the last God knows how long.
But all the CAA do is implement stuff that comes from Europe. So the European stuff,
I
don't
think that's entirely true.
No, I don't think that's entirely true.
Well, they have to regulate a lot of UK routes and traffic and that kind of thing. But the overall idea is still very much from the top, to have as much harmonisation as possible around the world.
Yeah, no, I get
most air traffic, so.
But that hasn't.
The problem here is
model aircraft stuff, because
the model aircraft stuff, because everyone's gone into a total panic since the Phantom Menace showed up, and people realise quite how many things there could be, in the sky. And it's just that. It's just there are all these things that come with the toys. That's how they see it. Irritating toys getting in the way, and we need to do our best to control the toys, while also, as a very secondary objective, creating a framework for a new industry of commercial drone use.
Yes. So we don't get in the way. Lego's an irritating toy. Have you ever stepped on one of those little bricks? That is the worst pain known to man. I don't care what they say about childbirth. It is horrific. Do the CIA want to do anything about that? Do they want to join in concise with Dyson so that they can hoover all the bits up so the children can't play with them?
No.
Because essentially that's what's happening with DJI and, sorry to name names, DJI and Amazon. Let's just get everything out the sky. Why don't we just ban lampposts and
so long as
overhead
your Lego
wires?
Buildings stay under 300 feet, the CIA have no beef with them. But
Yeah,
you need to put red lights at certain intervals so no one flies into it by accident.
Yeah, how about we get rid of the top of mountains and stuff so they can just speedily get across? So Dorothy can get her shoelaces.
In a bit of a bad mood.
Where's Tony? Where's my vegan punching bag?
Locked him away for his own safety.
Where is Tony? How did he do it?
Tony obviously knew about the mood in advance and planned ahead.
You can mute me, though. That's all you've got to do. I told you, if I became unreasonable, mute me. I gave you full permission. Andrew,
have that, Pam.
As you become unreasonable, Jack, you become entertaining.
Somebody
mute Jack.
The silence is ominous.
I think I've worked out the regulatory thing. I think it's because, can you imagine how many people are going to want to chase the Amazon drones out of the sky with their FPV goggles on as they fly overhead, or chase them down into cities with their phantoms? That's maybe the only reason they're doing it.
Remember, too, that these regulations are put out with, slightly ambitiously small numbers and stuff as a way of getting a conversation going. So it's not the end of the world yet, so long as people are sensible and respond by writing and saying things like, well, this is a bad idea, and this is a ridiculously small distance given what we've been perfectly safely doing up till this point, and give reasoned response to what is essentially they are reasonable people making reasonable plans. Is when people just sit around going, well, my granddad voted for Brexit, so it's fine, this is not going to affect me. Because it will get harmonised. It's the sort of thing.
I think there's a wider issue though. I think if we just sit back and let tide after tide after tide of policy define everything we do,
what you mean we get raped in the ass?
What we're doing is we're creating regulation which gives massive opportunity to monopolies that can afford to comply with that regulation for the sake of it, because it's not a problem today. So why do we need the regulation? We're not crashing jumbo jets today. It's all hyperbole in the media. It's
the regulation's not coming in for a few years. You can crash a jumbo jet right up until about 2019.
Why is it coming? Why is it coming in at all? That's the question. It still baffles me. The CIA, every dealing I've had with the UK CIA, they seem to sit there going, well, what's the problem? We're not complaining about your drone flying. Go fly. You know what the law is. Be sensible. And there's a real sense of common sense prevailing there. Whereas what we seem to be doing at the moment is heading into, well, there aren't any laws, so we better write some down because it'll help insurance companies avoid their liabilities. And it'll mean that people who need to comply can jump through a few hoops, and we can create an industry in making that compliance happen. And actually, everyone's flying safe in the first place.
That's sort of how the world works, isn't it? I mean, that's...
But it's not. At the moment, we're sort of talking ourselves into more and more frameworks of policy and regulation, which are just for the sake of it. It's like, well, okay, it's not dealing with me. Let's just define a load of policy outside of me. So the responses we had from Hidden Valley were like, well, we've made exemptions for clubs. So actually, with my business hat on, that's great for Hidden Valley. We've kind of created a safe harbour for people to fly, and we put a fence around it and got it understood in the community. If regulations start meaning you can't fly anywhere else in the neighbourhood, that's great with that hat on, but it's sad as well.
And
It's not
only
White Hidden
great, it's
Valley's
only great
setup.
for a while, because realistically, most people are just going to not bother if they have to go to one specific
Yeah, exactly.
place.
It's just going to kill it.
Because that's the other thing. I
thought
think
it was
the commercial airliner idea is a bit of a straw man, because they're happy with the fact that we're all, there are the rules already in place to say, for multiple reasons, that you should never be an airliner, because you shouldn't be that close to an airport, you shouldn't be that high, you should be like making sure that you're not conflicting with it and just drop out the air rather than get in the way of it. But that's why they're saying it's the low-flying light aircraft that's the issue that they're trying to deal with. I completely agree that their rules are not addressing that.
In unregulated airspace,
Started out with.
They could simply make it so simple by just putting a 1,000-foot floor for light aircraft.
Yeah,
Well,
but there's a
safe
lot
for
of
takeoff and landing.
commercial helicopter operations,
but
for example. There's the ones that they're talking about that have to be below that.
A 1,000-foot is problematic in that, exactly, for various civil and stuff, and for photography from helicopters, which is something that happens even now.
You could dictate when you're accessing a helipad or when you're coming in for a landing, just like you do in Class D airspace. But in open, unregulated airspace, that always surprised me that we have a ceiling on drone flight, but light aircraft don't have a floor. It's like, well, why not? Most light aircraft don't want to go below 1,000 feet most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know, Dom. Like they do have a floor. It's called the ground, and they explode when they hit it.
Interestingly, they do have a noise floor. If you've got a glider can skim the ground, but a motor plane has like a certain distance depending on how noisy its motor is. So you're creating a nuisance with noise, and so it's something like 26 decibels or whatever it is, minus 26 decibels at this distance or something.
Unless, of course, commercial interests have got in the way of that. So, for example, where I live, they've just rejigged the flight path. So one of the London City routes goes straight over the house, and we've noticed a change in the noise. It's not, I don't care, it's just aviation. But people have been quite upset about it.
Mm. Yeah. Do you think there's a noise floor for Let's Drone Out? Do you reckon they've ever tuned into us and heard
different kind of noise, Jack?
Dolby noise floor.
Oh God! Right,
about 10 dB below ambient, I think, probably.
Yeah. Tony won't get affected by that.
But I think if we actually want them to have some rules that are sensible, we need to work out a way where they can have their helicopters dragging along power lines at tens of feet above tree level. We could have.
Isn't that just like getting a PFAW? Not just like getting a PFAW.
Isn't the trick? Yeah, exactly. Not to be doing it in the same bit of airspace by keeping an eye out for each other.
That's what we need to work out. So their suggestion is physical, actual limitations on altitude for drones, and also transponders and all this other stuff.
Yeah, these people are new, so we can't trust them.
Well, they have come up with what they think is reasonable, and they've put it out and said, what is everyone else's ideas on this? They're not saying this is what we're going to do. They're saying,
I know.
We have your feedback.
Well, they are, Andrew, in as much as they've said we're going to implement some changes to regulations. And,
yes.
And the question has to be asked, well, who's saying they're not working? I never heard of anything until the drone situation came along. I never heard of any great discussion about the air laws in the country not working.
No, and I think the other thing is it's not self-built.
And I'm not convinced that they don't work.
I'm not convinced that they don't now, but they are thinking ahead as well. And remember, they're being lobbied by organisations like Amazon who want to fill the sky. So they're trying to prepare in advance for a situation where any sort of aircraft are more common, or can be more common.
It's not. Yeah, I think that's really what it's working towards. They're setting this stuff up first, and then probably a year or two later they'll be introducing the autonomous ways of flight as well, and they're just laying the groundwork, getting everything into law, so then they can start building that legislation on top of it.
Because don't forget, we've got our flying multi-rulers.
So far, because there are hardly any of us.
Well, I think that sort of regulation should arrive as there's problems rather than preempting them, because I think it stifles innovation, and it means that the only people who can access that top lane of compliance are people who can comply with a regulatory framework which has been dreamt up by their lobby over the 2-3 years before they enter the market. I think that locks people like
legislated. That's the thing. It's like they're not allowed to do anything.
Right, but if you're going to open that up, and what you're saying is that something like EASA's current prototype is all about laying the groundwork to open up that discussion, then what they're really doing is creating a framework of regulation before anyone can try the market.
Yes, because
it's like everyone's looking at it upside down, like this is trying to help, and I don't think that regulating before a market exists, you're interfering with the market before it even emerges. That's ridiculous. Let it emerge and react to that.
Not allowed to emerge because autonomous flight is illegal. So they're trying. They can't say whatever the hell, go do what you like, because that means people die. If we have things
you're in a situation now where you can't do anything at all. So by opening up a framework, which is still, not great and has all sorts of problems, they're creating the potential for a market. But the thing is, they care about the potential for the market for Amazon, and so the people who and various companies. So we lose out because they're taking the space away from us rather than civil aviation. You're never going to persuade most people, like not drone enthusiasts, that the civil aviation doesn't deserve space to fly them on holiday to Spain, although they might not want to go anymore after the referendum. But you are going to be able to persuade people that a few nerds in a field can give up their nerd fun times, so let them have their package delivered more easily. So what we need to do is stick up as the voice, the literate voice of people who can speak in whole sentences, and say, no, we should be here because innovations come from us and our play as well as fun. So we need to be allowed to do stuff. And then everyone hopefully can have a good time. And this is our opportunity. That now is the time to do that. We are that voice.
Adam for MP.
Right. The ESA, I was speaking to Simon Dale, who was the original person who got the exemptions for FPV regarding a spotter. What article is that, Andrew?
Don't make me remember the number. We know
he knows it off by heart. If you make me remember that track, you can at least remember that. Google it.
I've got it somewhere.
Okay.
It's printed off in a thing connected to my drone bag. It's like
it's got a 7 in it.
Yeah, isn't it 177?
Yeah, that'll do.
722.
Yeah. All right. So so the Lord and Master Simon Dale, who's the head of First Person View, I've been texting him. Well, I phoned him twice and then was like, "Will you come on the show because we're talking about this?" He said he's busy, and I've asked him a few questions. I said, like, is there anything you want us to mention? Is the partition pointless? Or do we need to just do the MP letter only? What language do we need to use? Because I was talking to Lee, Painless 360, and he was like, what language do we use? Do I write, "Hi, I'm Lee, and I like Smarties. Please don't stop me flying my drone."
And the Smarties bit's irrelevant.
Yeah, all right, it's a joke.
I know.
So anyway, I asked him, and he said, like, I'd use the English language, smiley face, cheeky little shit. ESA understands.
Surely we should be using emojis these days.
Yeah. ESA understands model clubs. They understand customers and consider them clueless. What they don't seem to understand, somewhere in the middle. We're all well into it, but not in a traditional club, and we don't necessarily want to be in a club. We need to make the ESA aware that the safe hobby pilots exist outside the clubs, and they shouldn't be legislated out of existence for no reason.
BMFA could actually be useful for us in this case, because the BMFA have all their country members. So they have all their clubs, but they also have a load of membership of people who are just, not affiliated to a club. They just have direct membership of the BMFA, and they fly out in fields on their own, just like we do. So I think, it would be well worth making sure that the BMFA know, because they're in talks with the CAA, and the CAA is in talk with the EASA, and everyone's all in rooms together. Sure, the BMFA know that country members don't want to lose their rights to fly either. Then, that would pretty much guarantee that there's a niche carved out in whatever legislation happens that.
I was quite interested in the number of people that they felt through different groups that they were consulting by circulating the various prototype laws. They estimated 500,000 model flyers across Europe. Interesting
like
number.
I would just like to point out, right? Hang on. Right, the BMFA membership, right? In Brighton, the BMFA £33, club annual is £58, so the total is at £91.
Right, I'm putting Hidden Valley's prices are going up this weekend. You better get your memberships in by midnight tonight.
They're not big fans of drones either.
All right, hang on. All members, new and existing, will also required to pay a £15 annual levy to cover the cost of replacement of rabbit-proofing fencing.
Talking about people in a club. I'm talking about the country members.
Yeah, hang on. £35 is payable for all new members to cover the cost of the welcome pack and gate admission.
Talking about joining a flying site, so there is a field somewhere that these guys are paying for to have it, have a nice little hut that's warm and got electricity and team making facilities.
It hasn't,
or whatever.
And you can climb that fence,
rabbit-proof fence, and all of that kind of stuff. They're paying for a field somewhere that's got their own stuff on. But they can join the BMFA without being part of a club.
Can you?
I agree with that.
Called a country member.
Point. I'm interested now, though, to know why you'd need a rabbit-proof fence at a flying field. I mean, rabbits are going to get in.
You got to have
maybe
that rabbits.
Stop them getting out.
Stops the rabbits getting in, mate. That's what the rabbit-proof fence is for.
Yeah, but I've been to the field in question, and it's not. It's not all the way.
Who cares? Who cares about the rabbits? They're going to ban our hobby. That's it.
Okay,
there's going to be nothing left to do. The rabbit will have more of a life than we will have.
We could stuff the rabbits and fly them. Don't tell Tony I said that. Don't tell Tony I said that.
No, sorry, Andrew, carry on. Sorry.
Well, you didn't threaten to eat them, did you? I think you're fine.
Fried, did you say?
Frank, carry on.
I was just saying that they you can join the BMFA as a country member and not be part of any club.
Without having to join the
And so
I thought you'd got to
there are all those members across the country, and those members have to be the ones. We have to support the BMFA and supporting those members because they are not affiliated with the club. So if they get the right to fly, we will get the right to fly as well.
Okay.
So hopefully,
I cannot get hold of Bruce from RC Model at all. I've emailed him several times. I have had as much feedback.
He's heard your loose tongue, Jack.
Yeah, I am the FP. What happened to me, man? I used to be a likable guy.
You're a very likable man. Don't worry.
I'm not anymore. I don't know what's happened.
It's all right. It's just next week you'll be fine.
I don't know. I think, I'm just on my God. Yes, please.
Mate,
please email Bruce and tell him that Jack might just totally lose it.
It's the hormone pills, Jack.
Yeah, I'm on my FPV period.
Oh God. What a horrific Please should.
That is pretty terrible.
How's everyone in the chat room? Who's in the chat room?
Mr. Thrust.
Yeah, we've only got a minute, guys, until we've run out of time. And,
Is Hannah on?
Ed and Neil were
I haven't heard from Hannah. I know she's ill this week.
Hello,
I don't know if she wants to go on the show ill.
Gabriel.
I'm assuming not, because I haven't heard anything.
I'm going to say I'm going to stick with the 9 o'clock tradition though, personally, because
yes,
I have a presentation tomorrow morning, and I said I'd only say hi for 10 minutes, and well,
Okay.
Look how well that went.
Yeah.
Good
Also,
to catch up, Adam. I'll see you.
Yeah,
Speak.
and you.
Be the cut-off for our podcast as well. So, have podcast worlds. Thank you very much for listening.
Goodbye, all you lovely podcast people,
Goodbye.
with your very sensible strategy. And now enjoy the fun.
Yes,
Will everyone?
And now you can
Has
swear.
everyone signed the petition?
I have now eventually.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was paused for a few days waiting a review.
I think when I signed it, there were 21 people who'd signed it.
I think last count was 1,800.
Yeah,
Good.
I literally bullied. Painless 360 into.
Put the link in the chat.
Yeah, I will. I'm looking for it.
Do you think we should share it out and say sign this, just with the simple thing saying you might not understand it, but sign this petition or we'll kill the rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
do that. We'll kill and fly the rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
Look, we're not animals.
personally, I'm not too convinced about the petition, because I think the petition is missing the point of what the ESA has said, which is that they want constructive feedback on what they've proposed as an initial first draft. I think we need to actually, come up with a solution to the problem of helicopters and drones. If there's a sky full of drones, how do we make sure they're not colliding with helicopters?
We need to show our working like good boys and girls.
And we actually need to suggest that as a positive thing, rather than just being, don't do what you've said you're not going to do, but you might do in the future anyway. It's just kind of like they've been like putting this out like early, saying we know this isn't right and we need to work on this, but what's your feedback? And we're just going, fuck off. And that's kind of.
Oh, Andrew swore. This is amazing.
Yeah, but that's because it's after an hour, so it's not going in anyway.
Oh yeah, I've never heard you swear. Fuck.
He's really angry. I want to add. Hang on, where's the thing? I want to add Dan Upton to this. Dan, I know you're listening. Join. Hang on, Dan.
I think being pragmatic, Andrew. I think you're right, but I think it's also important when that type of what I regard as rather pointless law for law's sake starts getting bandied around. I do think it's very valuable for the strength of reaction to the initial sort of land grab for the regulation. I think it's important for civil society in legalese to stand up and make its voice heard, because otherwise people just go, fuck it, there's no opposition, we're just going to ignore the naysayers and push through what works for big business. And I do think
all the time.
There's numbers that are going around at the moment that the drone industry is worth 1.5 billion, 2.5 billion, whatever. There's a massive groundswell of people jumping into that space, and they're all, quite frankly, ignorant. And I think a lot of them have kind of semi-retired in some other field and gone, this is fun. And it's kind of where streaming TV channels were 10 years ago or 20 years ago with .coms. It's a cycle of investment coming around. And I think that people are going, well, look, if we can do something that only a few other people can do and we can get compliant with it, we'll make a lot of money out of it. Because it's just regulating the market. That's exactly what it's doing. And I think if we just roll over and well, it's going to happen anyway. Let's just make sure it's fair. That's cool. From, as I said on the show earlier, from my point of view, I can sit and put my feet up, and it's probably going to do Hidden Valley for a while, no end of good. because it's going to mean that people can't just wander off to the downs and fly, can't wander off to the beach and fly, and if they want to fly locally, they'll have to be here. I think, as I said, I think that's sad. That's not what I've set Hidden Valley up for. I think that if it was, then I'd be up with the ASA going, who do I pay to increase the lobbying on this? Because actually, I want Hidden Valley to be one of only 3 parks where you can fly drones in the UK. I'm going to charge 500 quid a year for it, and actually per membership, and I'm going to give you 100 quid to make sure that only 3 or 4 Hidden Valleys can operate. And we're going to set up the trade association that's going to regulate the provision that you've made in Article 14 to actually tick the box, and that's how it will work out. I just don't feel.
Why don't you just merge the pilots list with the sex offenders list? Because clearly, if you're connecting a camera to a drone, then you're a pervert. So you might as well.
Counter-terrorism as well. Bring it on.
And we're all terrorists, and
but drive them all underground so that they don't let off bombs.
Yeah, just kill me now.
I think it's the wrong approach myself, but and I think that needs to be vocalised.
My argument is it doesn't stop idiots. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. Exactly. There's no competence test. There's no IQ test. There's no.
But it also doesn't stop people who just ignore the law. Like there's nothing. Yeah, there's no law that will ever stop people ignoring the law.
It's like digital rights.
I fully agree.
It's like digital rights management was 10 years ago, but people who wanted to go and buy their stuff online had to suffer with digital rights management. People who went and got it on LimeWire or Napster just got it for free. It just doesn't make any bit of a difference. You can't put it. It's a genie that's out of the bottle. You can't put it back in the box.
Mega Sex Wax says, I just wanted to read out your name. How do we go about becoming an unofficial group? We have a few of us mates, but we're not official.
Well, they said to us that if you're already operating and most of your members are members of BMFA, which was an assumption because actually most of our members are members of FPV UK, and which for whatever reason they can be either. But to be a group, you just be a group. You fly somewhere safe and legally. That's it. And they're saying that if they're BMFA members, then under the BMFA affiliation, then they will probably make some provision that you can carry on operating under CAA regulation or the framework that exists today in terms of height and distance and speed and so on, but within your club ground and within your club's auspices. But I said, hold on, we're nothing to do with BMFA. And so I'm in the dark officially. I have no idea what that compliance means. We have insurance, which we've kind of opted into, and we did our own health and safety assessments before we started it, again, which we opted into. But whether that makes us official or not, who knows? What I know is if there's an accident and it's we understand the response to it.
By the way, this one's for you, Frank. Nolsmtm, Nolstom, or whatever his name, or hers, or non-gender binary, says, I've heard him say clusterfuck before lol. I think that's to do with Frank swearing, which I love that there's someone there documenting Frank swearing. Like someone out the work, like adding it to this cork board. Oh, that's made my day.
It's going to be in the papers tomorrow.
And then Jamie Kennedy agrees. Yep. So apparently, it's Chris G. Oh, it's Chris. You got a weird YouTube name. Might change that to Chris. Mega Sex Wax says we are FPV UK, not BMFA. That's to you, Dom, I think.
Sorry, say that again, Jack. Sorry, I was reading the chat room.
That's got the notepad out, says Chris G.
All right.
He did particularly well in the at the Nationals, by the way. Well done.
Yeah.
No one cares. Sexwax says, Dom, can you still hear us?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
We are FPV UK, not BMFA.
Who said that?
Mega Sexwax. He's the green one.
Okay.
Green one.
I must be looking at a different chat. I'm going to pop it open. The one on the site.
Idea
Well, the one
which
on the
chat you're
hangout.
talking about, Jack.
It's the chat on YouTube.
On YouTube, there's a chat on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
like they're actually using it. If you want the more direct chat that's not run by a moron, please go to poweringon.co.uk. Is that the right site?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. powering.co.uk. Every Thursday, 8 to 9. Yeah.
Hold on. We're catching up. I'm opening the YouTube link now.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Can I stop my recording on Audacity now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Before it gets too big.
Before anyone's computers crash.
Export. Export audio. ESASEASA. I'm just saving it as a funny. Do you want it as a WAV, Microsoft 16 or 32?
32. Go for it. All the bits.
All the cocaine.
Oh,
Message sent to Bruce.
Just discovered a whole chat room going on there. Hello, chat
I know,
room.
like people listening. They're slowly going through a coma because we have spent the last 10 minutes waiting for Tom to discover all the chat rooms. And they now know what format I export my audio in.
There you
As
go.
well, this is
exciting.
interesting stuff.
Okay,
Should I just start talking about Thomas Greer now?
Okay.
I will get
good, but I've got to go. So anyone listening on Powering On, there will be the connection is going to disappear shortly. So I will wave you all goodbye.
Good
day to you, sir. You've done well, Andrew.
Well done, Chief.
I would if I was you, I would have exercised my mute button a bit more on that show.
Who?
Andrew. He should have muted me more.
Oh, you.
I mean, what? Yeah.
I'm still trying to find this chat.
What do you mean? What on the Yahoo?
The live now for the YouTube chat.
Hang on. Oh God. This is thoroughly interesting. Here you go, guys. Andrew has left. Come on, dead air, people, dead air. Talk to me.
Sorry, I was
Lovely
typing
weather we're having.
Mega Saxrax, I've just typed you a message saying, I'm always very happy to sort of share the experience of setting up a Hidden Valley. So yeah, reach out, ping me messages and stuff.
Tell the listeners who you are, because there's a few people who don't know who you are, and like how you met me, and why I'm now stuck with this hippie for the rest of my days.
It's just weird that it's us three left in that respect.
Yeah, then there were 3. Oh no, well, how many lessons we got on? Am I just talking to you two? Because
19 viewers. We've got 19 viewers. 18 now, slowly going down.
Him. Come on, no,
someone, please, for the love of God,
so, 20. No, back up to 20. Cool. Well, no, tell us how you what happened, Dom. How did you put me in touch with this?
Oh God. There's half the listeners know this already, but yeah. So let's backtrack 2 years. Mini air show, which was spawned off that drone show, International Drone Day idea. Threw my hat into the ring, did the Brighton one, Jack and Jay came along with about 150 other people who wanted to fly something like racing drones around, and about 200-300 other kids and various wandering adults and lost people who were at the wrong event and things. And then off the back of that, we, with the first person view crowd, we did, and a few others, I think, we did a couple of races, one of which was at Hidden Valley, and we thought it kind of, which is neighbouring valley to me, and a large open farmland owned by a farmer who I went to school with, and twisted his arm, and he let us set up a flying park there, which we got the mayor involved in, and we got the police involved in, and the council and the parish council and Natural England, and oh god, an endless list of stakeholders, which we did the rounds with, and then did the health and safety and stuff, and did the second mini air show at the beginning of this year as a bit of an opening for it, although we'd been flying in it for probably 6 months by then. And we had, well, you guys came, and we had about 64 really good races. Turned up and did a relay race, with a little fair around it, 2 days camping, did part of the show at Long Hill School next to us. Yeah, it was good. Crazy learning experience. A lot of law that I didn't expect to learn, and then unlearn, because actually there wasn't actually a lot of law to worry about when you sort of get confident with what you can and can't do. And I think there's been some good people, BMFA, FPV UK, people who've done a lot to simplify and communicate that stuff over the last year.
I've still got the Ed Bruce Radcliffe, God rest his soul. He's not dead. He I don't know why I said that. Wishful thinking, maybe. Hopefully he'll laugh at that. I've still got the episode of me, you, and Adam chatting about the law of, you know, and stuff we know, and it's possibly an episode of what can only be described as something that Jay's nightmares would be made out of.
You, Jack. Sometimes you.
And which leads me to think that I should really. How would you like it if I loaded it up on Bandcamp and made everyone pay $1 for it?
You do what you want with it, Jack.
Some sort of like, because
I've beer, you know.
I've got episodes which I'm slightly skeptical of, like loading up onto my YouTube and stuff. Because like it's like the episode where I'm shouting at Boris. You know, like no one should ever disrespect Boris B. There's no actual intentional disrespect to Boris B. It was just I couldn't help myself. So I don't know. I've got a few episodes that really question whether they should ever see the light of day. You know,
I want to see those ones.
Yeah. I need.
As long as you're not flying naked, that would just be bizarre.
Yeah.
That would put me off.
Well, there is the Patreon where if someone gives us $100, they will owe Tony.
Yeah, no. Moving on from that. So where's Tony? Where's Tony? How did he do it? The Nats.
Tony got annoyed at me for blocking him on my mobile and not read Facebook messages, which is it's completely. Really.
Hold on, I'm just going to mute off for a second. Background noise here.
Yeah, no worries. So then it's just me and you, Jay.
Yeah, I think maybe a whispers is turned up or something. Yeah, but yeah, how long it's last year. How long have I known you? Last year, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah, last year. You listened to the first episode, like that's also the other side of it is that I do need to upload that episode when when we get everything sorted, and at the moment where Let's Thrown Out's going is Oh, hang on.
Oh, back again.
Yep, here we go.
No,
Yeah,
do say more.
yeah, we need to, obviously make a an intro for the YouTube and get all the branding sorted, and then when that's sorted, we can load up that episode of where it all began, the sweet romance between us.
Oh,
Yeah,
you need that sort of going
yeah, I
backwards in
know.
time.
Well, we
Harp
can't play
noise.
any music
I've got that
unless
sound effect on.
yeah. Are you, Jay? Are you still doing stuff on the Thursday night show like a traitor?
I haven't actually done anything for a while, but I have wanted to do something. Maybe running up to Christmas, there must be a slot or something. I don't know. Let's see. I haven't done anything for ages. I think you should have a slot on the Thursday night show, Jack. I think you should go in there and, not swear, but play some tunes to mark where you started with Let's Join Out.
Yeah, go back to my roots. Maybe I'll be less angry.
Maybe you should make a whole set, an hour-long set of noises from quads, and just say it's your piece. And it's your...
Just sample a load of quads and play them through.
And have fire. Just have fire symbolic of your ESCs.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, totally.
I think I'm going to try and
what's coming up.
I think we're going to try and find a slot. I'm going to talk to Jen and see if we can find a slot to do a little indoor fly somewhere over the crap months, because I can feel them coming.
They're already here, mate. You know, the wind's out. You know, it's going to be raining the weekend.
It doesn't rain at Hidden Valley. It's been amazing.
Mick Mike says don't encourage him.
Yeah. Weather's been good.
Yeah, like neither of those days I've gone out.
But I was thinking, trying to see if we could get the Long Hill Gym one weekend or something, or one evening. Just get 3 hours in there or something between us. Be good.
How is your quad going anyway? Your fossil stuffs.
The new 210.
Yeah,
goes like shit off a shovel. It's the only polite way to put it. It's immense. Yeah, I need to tune it. I haven't had a chance to yet, and it's so much. It's got a totally different balance to the old Gravity, so it's really sensitive in certain directions. So I'm getting
less like a sofa.
Less like a sofa. More, it's like going from, compared to my Storm, the Gravity was like going to a Kawasaki, and now going from the 280 to the 210 is like, and a really well, like it's like going from a sort of factory Kawasaki to a tuned racing bike. It's bizarre. I feel like I'm on something I shouldn't be allowed to fly.
You're right. Well, if the ESEA get their wish, then you shouldn't really be flying anything or doing anything, or your hands are not allowed to leave your pockets or genitals. Crash through drones on Monday. Great weather. My quad is all right, but I've managed to like saw another antenna off the top of it, and so that's always great. So my 2.4 is completely shielded, and just to add more insult to injury to insult or something, I don't know which way around it is.
Rubber to the situation.
I've also, it is covered in grass. Absolutely. It looks like a foliage version of Cousin It, really. That's the only way I can describe how my quad looks like right about now. It smells like a lawnmower.
It's definitely your quad then.
Are you going to be able to make it down this weekend then?
I'll try and pop in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if I don't actually want to just shoot myself in the head. So yeah. Well, you guys there Saturday or Sunday?
Well, we're turning up from Saturday morning. There's only a couple of us. Just chilled day, set up camp, and just stay there for the last of the summer.
I might bring Si.
Yeah, last with some flying for Lisa camping because it's going to be cold. I'm going to take a few extra blankets.
Yeah.
That Saturday at the Nationals, I woke up at 4 a.m. and it was so. It was like, honestly, if there was a tauntaun, I would have slayed it and cut it open and slept in that, because it was like,
Didn't you have
it like
Thomas's
the
beard?
planet Hoth. It was, you know.
Did you have access to Thomas's beard?
I don't know. No, not really. Like, anything would have been. I kind of wish I'd flew my freestyle while stood on top of his Land Rover, because that would have annoyed him. But yeah, you probably would have clotheslined me off the top of it, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Cool.
I'd love to know, like, you know, I've said a few things about Tom tonight on this podcast, and I can't wait to find out who's the person who dobs me in. You know, so,
I will. I'll
Tom, have you heard? Yeah.
I'll tag you in the. I'll tag you.
We just don't have him on enough. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, you should have him on once a month.
I know, just
Right, chaps, I'm going to go. It's dinner time.
Yeah, no worries. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everyone
for everything. And
check my new video out on the Hidden Valley feed. It's just a little mess about making a video how to actually find the place.
All right.
Yeah, it was good. I saw that. It's
practicing. It's fun.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to the after hours of what? God, let's drone out.
The after party, yeah.
The after party. Yeah, it's not that incredibly interesting. I will. Hopefully, Trappy will wake up and be like, "Oh dear, sorry for missing it," and we'll try and get on for next week.
Cool.
So you know, I've got loads of stuff to edit. I've got to try and edit my footage from this weekend and stuff. But you know, oh well.
I have a whole summer's worth of footage I've got to edit together. I need to work away for a whole week.
Oh, I edit on the day and then bin it every time now.
Well,
I've had a weekend since August. So
yeah, I've literally only got 30 odd gig of space left on my computer, so I've got to do something. So yeah, I think my external hard drive is going to be working overtime tonight. All right, take it easy, guys. Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Yeah. Oh man, I missed having Dom on. See you later. I really have.
Bye.
Get up. Bye. Bye, Jay, you bloody hippie.
See you, Jay. Love you.
See ya.